Recording again. Okay. Looks like we're at 60 FPS. Cool. Um, and we're going to talk about like what it takes to go pro and what that means for anybody looking to go pro in the esports scene. We're going to be talking about a few different games. So we're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about League of Legends. We're going to be talking about Fortnite. We're going to be talking about Valorant, Overwatch, and the CWL or Call of Duty League. CWL, Call of Duty. So first thing, esports, and what is it? Of course, we already know what esports is. If you're watching this video, you already know what esports is. Esports is playing a video game professionally, making money off of it, either in prize pool, through tournaments, or as an organization in a league. For example, Fortnite has individual prize pools for players and individual teams. So if you want to get a bunch of your homies up together and you guys want to go and play for a cash cup, or you guys want to play in a tournament and there's money for it and you guys win and you get the money for it, that's an individual prize pool. Or if you are playing in a league and you earn money through playing in an org with that league, such as in League of Legends, where there's no real prize for winning, like the LCS, for example, or the EULCS. If you win there's not really a prize money associated with winning that tournament. Like most of the money comes from being paid by the orgs and having a fan base surrounding the orgs. Org makes money, and they play the players' money, and there's the whole ecosystem inside of that, which I'll get to later. And we're going to be talking about how what it takes to go pro. So there's a few ways for someone to go pro, but the first thing is they have to be noticed. So players have to be noticed before they actually get the position in the first place. So there's multiple ways to do that. Some teams have tryouts or like recruiting challenges. Like FaZe Clan has FaZe Clan has Phase 5, where every once in a while they'll do a series of challenges and try and get 5 content creators and or professional players to come in and be added onto the team. Then there's other ways like streaming. Streaming is actually one of the biggest ways for people to get found out and to actually get noticed. So if we take a look at Twitch is the biggest platform for streaming at the moment. I do think YouTube will come up swiftly behind it, though. So if we take a look at what's a game that's really good for finding talent, Apex Legends. Apex Legends is a great example. So there's no real like way to get in for Apex Legends. So if you want to get recruited by an org, you have to get noticed. And streaming is a good way. It's one of the best ways. As well as having like YouTuber content. Like if you're out here like pub stomping and you're in a normal game and you're just crushing it every single time, boom, you know, you're gonna get noticed at some point. People in the community will know who you are, especially if you stream it and you're like getting like 20-30 kills in like a Fortnite match or like a Apex Legends match, right? If you're getting like high kill games, then people are gonna know who you are, and that is heightened by streaming. If there's a competitive ladder, which most esports titles have, so if you're in like Challenger, Apex Predator, Radiant, etc. People inside that high level of play will know who you are anyways. And so like if there's like 100 people in your like bracket, of course there's going to be like more than that. It's going to be like 500 plus. And you play with them many times a day. They'll know who you are. And that's why you should also be streaming, because another thing that really helps is actually on the organization side themselves. Deku Nash. Okay. I did steal the notepad. However, okay, Devin Nash is a great guy and he's very good. This is a good way for me to organize my thoughts. It just so happens that Devin Nash inspired me to do this, okay? So leave me alone. I was hoping people wouldn't notice. No, but this is like a really good format. So I like doing it like this when I'm talking about something like this. Otherwise, I'll just ramble on and I'll make a terrible video. So actually on the organization side, so this is for this is relevant for people that actually have an org, or places where having an org is necessary for a team. So orgs will have recruiters that look and scout for people. Like that's their job. That's their only job, is to look for new talent and to get that talent onto a team, whether it be as a content creator, a streamer, or possibly working inside the organization as like another employee. So in this case, looking for pro players, if you're playing Valorant, you know, and you're Radiant, which is their highest level of play, they can take a look at your games. They can take a look at your games and watch your stream to see if you might be a possible player for them. And that's why a lot of it's like really tied in together. So if you have a stream, you are a top level player, you're going to probably get scouted by an org at some point. And orgs look for different things too. So you can't just be like super good at the game. Like there's players that are super good at the game, but an org won't touch them. It doesn't matter if they're going to win them tournaments. They won't touch them. You also have to have, you have to have a good personality. So orgs also look for good players' personalities. So there's a few reasons why they look for personalities. First one, of course, is you need to be able to get along with your teammates. Number two, you need to be able to handle criticism. Did I spell criticism right? I don't know. Need to be able to handle criticism. There's a good example of a player that like that in the LCS. His name was Dardoch. Dardoch was a really good player. He still is a really good player. However, he had a lot of problems once he joined orgs about being too toxic to his teammates, because he was making good calls. He had the right calls, but it was terrible at how he was executing those calls and trying to coordinate it and inform his team about it. And that's not good. Like, if you're playing on a team and you're just trying to chill, and you're trying to like play the game, you're trying to execute the game, you don't want someone yelling down your neck, being like, that was a fucking dumbass mistake. Like, why are you doing this? No one wants to hear that. So teams aren't going to look for you if you're not a decent person. You got to be able to handle your criticism, because also you're going to be coached. A lot of orgs have their own coaches, and where they help the team in doing what they need. So yeah. So on top of them, orgs looking for players with good personalities. They also want to, if you're a content creator, if you're being signed as a content creator, you have to be unique. They will not take you if you're just like the average Joe Schmo. If you're like the other 100 people on YouTube or Twitch doing the exact same content, they're not going to go for you. But if they see that, even if you're a smaller streamer, like even if you have like 30, 40 viewers and you're just like having a great time and your stream is doing really, really good, back to it. All right. So if you're like the other 100 people doing the exact same stuff, they're not going to pick you up. So let's get back to what we were doing on this. So we were talking about like how players can get noticed by an org. So there's a couple situations where it's unique. So all him, Deku Nash. Call. It's too late. There's too much of a delay on stream. Someone should at Devin Nash and have him watch this. That'd be fucking awesome. So if you're being, you have to be unique. So other ways for people to get recognized. So what I've been talking about with this has been traditional organizations. So these are like tier 1 orgs that are like FaZe Clan, Luminosity, Cloud9, TSM, the big names in esports. So, but it's also specific to a certain genre of games. So this genre of games is games with a traditional tournament bracket style format. So you're looking at games like League of Legends, Valorant, /CSGO, and CWL, and Overwatch. These are just some of the titles that follow this, but there's more. I don't know how to spell Overwatch. But I also don't know how to spell League. But that doesn't matter when it comes to battle royales. Battle royales is a different one. Battle royales are very different when it comes to this org style. What are you talking about? FaZe Clan and Cloud9 are both tier 1 organizations. They're both tier 1 organizations. FaZe Clan has been around since the early Call of Duty days and earlier. And Cloud9 originated in League of Legends, and guess what? They're one of the biggest names in esports. FaZe Clan focuses primarily on FPS shooters, but they do have a standing in games like Fortnite as well, and Valorant. They don't I don't think they have a name in Apex Legends though, but yeah, they are tier 1 orgs. So yeah, sorry. But I wouldn't lump them in with general players, so I'm getting to that. So this is this format that I'm talking about here does not include not Valorant, BRs. So battle royales have a very unique thing where they don't actually have a tournament bracket. I mean, there is like a sort of a bracket. Is better than FaZe by a Jersey Mile, dude. I know. I'm just saying they are tier 1 orgs. They are both tier 1 orgs. If anything, FaZe Clan has seniority past Cloud9 because FaZe Clan has been a thing before Cloud9 even existed. 40 years, my guy. Like, Cloud9 was a group that wasn't even an organization until like season 2 of League of Legends, which is like 2012. And they've been here for a while, man. So here, all of this you have to do if you want to get into your traditional bracket style thing like League of Legends, Valorant, CSGO, Call of Duty, Overwatch. That's how you get into that. I'll go into detail with each league and what you need to actually get involved in it. But BRs are special. BRs, you can just play the game. And what I mean by that is with BRs, you can talk. I mean, not talk. With BRs, you can literally just get a group of your top ranked homies, get together, play in a tournament, and if you do well, you do well, and you guys will get noticed. So BRs, because there's a multitude of tournaments that happen all the time with them, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't need to go through the arduous steps of getting into the League of Legends pro scene. You don't need to go through the arduous steps of going onto an Overwatch league or getting into a pro CSGO team or Valorant team. Like, I'll explain it a lot more in detail later, but I'm just going to use Apex Legends as an example. If I wanted to go into the ALGS, which is the Apex Legends Global Series, that is like the World Cup of Apex Legends. All I need to do is I need to get 2 other people in my team. It doesn't even matter what rank you are. Like, you could qualify as any rank. But there are qualifiers. You can play in those qualifiers. If you win those qualifiers and you qualify, great, you're in. And if you win the ALGS, boom, you're not even in an org, but you won, right? You don't have to be a part of one of 12 or 16 teams on a roster in order to get in, right? That's what's so limiting about these games right here, is that, like, in League of Legends, I believe it's like 16 teams in a league, or like 12 teams. And those teams are only those teams. And at the end of the season, a team that placed the lowest can get relegated and get replaced by another team in the community, if they so choose, if they are able to make it. That is not the case with BRs, though, because BRs, there's like anywhere between 20 to 30 teams in a match. Even 50 teams if it's like a duos tournament, right? So what ends up going on is anybody can join a tournament and win in a BR and get the prize pool. So it really doesn't matter with BRs. And that's kind of why I like BRs in the competitive scene. It's easier to get into a BR than it is to get into like Call of Duty. So, like, let's say you're playing Call of Duty and you wanted to get into the scene. Call of Duty is actually very similar to a BR in that sense. I know nothing Fortnite. Don't worry, I'm not talking about just Fortnite. I'm talking about esports in general, Dan. So the Call of Duty, if you wanted to get in, you can create a team. Anybody can create a team. You can you can do it the same way with BRs. Like if you qualify for the CWL, then you can play in the CWL and you can go and play and compete. So that's where Call of Duty is a little bit more unique compared to Overwatch and League of Legends, Valorant, CS:GO. So I've kind of gone over the differences in like how to go pro generally, but let's go over each one so we can make like a comparison. So first is we'll just go with League of Legends. Let's do LOL. So with League of Legends, you have to be challenger. So to be challenger, of course, you have to be at the top of the ladder, and you have to stay there for a while. You have to prove your worth. And once you're in challenger, people know who you are. Like if you start winning a lot in challenger and your name's up on your games and you're playing with multiple people all day, your name's going to be up there and people are going to know who you are. Recruiters are going to find you. They're going to see you. But there's other ways to do it. So there's also the Challenger Series. So if you're in the Challenger Series and you're winning tournaments in the Challenger Series, that recruiters do go into the Challenger Series to look at stuff. They go and look at players and they try to find out what the players are doing, how you're performing compared to other players. And they also look into your matches and streams to see how you are as a player. And if you come out of the Challenger Series alive, then you can go to what's called the Academy League. Can I spell Academy? Academy League. So each team in the LCS has an Academy League or an Academy roster, and that Academy roster will... I've been recording for 25 minutes? Jesus Christ. So that Academy roster, we should troll him, get him off subject so he has to do more jump cuts and editing. Probably doing more jump cuts and editing anyways. Get off my bag. Hey, you're doing it. So Challenger Series and Academy League. So once you go into the Academy League, each team has an Academy roster that does a few things for them in League of Legends. So one, it helps them develop new talent. So they got a team of like 5, 6, 7 players. They all rotate. They all play together. They train together. Some of them live together. They are officially signed by the organization. They all have contracts. But they all are also used as backup players during tournaments. So if you're playing in the LCS or the League competitive tournament, North America League of Legends competitive scene, then you will be... Hold on. Then you'll also be used as a backup player, as a benched player, essentially. But they also have their own tournaments too, and they also scrim against the main team. So, and once you go through Challenger, and then you get into Challenger Series, you get recruited into the Academy League. Sometimes you don't even need to go into Challenger Series. You can just go straight from Challenger to being in an Academy League. This happens quite often, actually. And all this is done behind the scenes. They don't make a really big announcement on their Academy League. So unless the player themselves says, "Oh yeah, I signed with GSM," then no one's going to really know. But unless you're like a hardcore esports fan inside of League of Legends, you're not going to like follow all these people. No, I noticed a little bit what different. You just moved a couple things around, but yeah, I honestly have no idea what you did to the stream. Well, I did know what you did to the stream because I had to fucking resize all my shit. So, but let's go to the Academy League. Then you go into the main team, and this is what you have to go. This is what you have to do for League of Legends to actually get onto a roster. And that's hoping that you get onto a roster, right? Because there are 12 teams in League of Legends, I believe. I don't know if it's 12 or 16. I think it's 12. But with the 12 teams, That's if you get on them, and all of them already have a full roster. So what you're hoping is, you're really hoping to get into the Academy League. That's your shot, and you go here to prove yourself that you're worthy of being on the main team. But there's a lot of players who will be in the Academy League and will stay there for quite a while. Hardware. I don't know what. Did you put a new processor in there? Whatever. So you can run with Dakota. I'm trying to get a little bit big in Fortnite though, so I'm trying to get better. Let's go with Valorant CS:GO. So I actually don't know much about CS:GO. I do know a little bit about Valorant. So Valorant, there isn't anything proprietary. Like there is no Challenger series. There's no Academy League. Oh, there might be an Academy roster. There is a main team. But in Valorant, CS:GO, you can actually have multiple teams in the league. So like Cloud9 has Cloud9 Blue and Cloud9 White. Cloud9 Blue is their main team, and then Cloud9 White is their all-female team. So you can have multiple teams. He's no longer Dakota. He is Deku Nash. Academy League, main team. Yeah. So Valorant, there's no proprietary. I butchered that so hard. Proprietary means of getting on a team. So, I mean, of course, there's the rank ladder. So if you're good on the rank ladder, you're pretty set by yourself. Do a stream a little bit, and then you'll be noticed by an org at some point. Maybe reach out to some organizations, and you'll probably get noticed. But there's nothing like this inside Valorant. I don't know about CS:GO. I have a feeling since CS:GO is very similar to Valorant and vice versa, that they'll have such a similar thing. Like if you're global elite in CS:GO, you're gonna get noticed by other global elites, and they're gonna talk. Oh, I'm so smart! I didn't know that's how you spell it. Yeah. So that's Valorant. Call of Duty. We kind of went over a little bit on Call of Duty. So for the COD/CWL. Not CDL, not a commercial driver's license, CWL. I can't believe I fucked that up the entire time. So with that, the CWL, you can play as your own team. So you can organize your own team and compete. And here you can qualify for the CWL. And that's really all there is for COD. There's not really there is a ranking ladder that they have now, but it didn't used to be that way. It used to just be, if you played well, your team won some tournaments. Like me and my 4 friends, or my 3 friends, got together, played tournaments, and we got noticed. Then yeah. Do they have Apex Legends tourneys like these others? Yeah, I'm about to get to Apex Legends in a second. That's actually going to be this one that I'm going to do right now. So Apex Legends. So Apex Legends is pretty nice. It is a BR. It is a battle royale. So Apex Legends is kind of nice. I like that one. So in Apex, there is the ALGS. And there's also different circuits. So they have circuits or like splits, but they're all individual tournaments. So they'll have like a fall circuit and they'll have like a spring circuit. or winner circuit, whenever they choose to have it happen. And then there's also the ALGS, which is the big main one. Each one you have to qualify for. So you have to be a part of a team. So you have to be a part of a team. That team can be whoever. So that team can be whoever. So if it's you and two of your friends playing in the Apex Legends tournament and you guys want to qualify, totally fine. You guys can do that. But you have to qualify. If you are a tier 1 organization like TSM, Luminosity, Cloud9, you guys also have to qualify. Sometimes, as far as I know, the top teams don't need to qualify most of the time, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong about this. I believe those guys are invited to the ALGS anyways, but it's the rest of the people who want to come up. So if you're like a tier 2 organization, you guys have an Apex Legends team, and you guys want to try and compete for the ALGS, you guys are totally more than welcome to, and you guys just gotta qualify in order to actually get into the tournament. And then you guys can fight TSM and lose. But you do have a means of getting there. With BRs, you don't have to be in an org in order to compete. Can I make this wider? I can. Oh, that makes things so much better. So much better. You don't have to be in an org in order to compete. And then you can't fight. Yeah. So Overwatch is very similar to League of Legends, and I think they mapped out their competitive format similar to League of Legends. And if you guys have any questions about any of the other teams or any of the other games that I've mentioned, and there's something you want me to brush up on, let me know. I'll explain it the best I can. So number 5, we have of course have Overwatch. Okay, so Overwatch is a dying esport, and whoever says otherwise is, needs to get chucked into a mental ward, because it's dying. It's dying. It's an old ass game in esports standards. Aside from League of Legends and Dota, that shit's really, really old, and Call of Duty is really, really old. But Overwatch has basically stayed the same forever. I mean, I haven't touched Overwatch in like a year and a half, and they still haven't released a new ass champion. Like, that shit says a lot. Also, Blizzard just fucking sucks. But still, in Overwatch, there is still ways to go pro. So first off, you have to be a high-level player. Obviously, you have to be a high-level player. You don't need to be top 500 in order to get into an organization. You can be diamond and get into an org. But there's different ways for that to happen. RuneScape Leagues is where it's at. RuneScape, bruh. So you can I spelled first wrong. I feel so dumb. So first of all, you have to be a high level player. Second, 30 Second, get on a team. So unfortunately, you do have to get onto a team. It doesn't have to be a pro team or like a tier 1 team. You just have to be on a team. From that team, you guys have to play in the Contender League. So the Contender League is like the Academy League or like the Challenger League for League of Legends. It's an amateur league, and if you win, or if it's like top 3 placement in that tournament, then you have a chance of going up against Overwatch. Is a dead esport. Yeah, it is. But people still want to get into it, and still a lot of people's favorite game. So I'm still going over it for that reason. It's a dying esports. Not necessarily dead, but it's dying. To play in the Contender League, and then if you win, it is boring as fuck to watch, and they've had that problem for a long, long time. If you win, then you can face off against teams up for relegations. So, and those teams are the ones that placed the lowest in the Overwatch League. So if you have, a fucking the London Spitfire. Fact check this YouTube fake news. So let's say the London Spitfire fucking for some reason decided that they are now the lowest team in the CWL, or the Overwatch League, and they are doing absolutely terrible. They can go up for relegation, and they can fight teams from the Contender League for their spot. If they win, they keep their spot. If the Contender League team wins, then they swap places. And this is how Overwatch does their shit. And that's that. So now we'll be getting into the main topic that I like. So I know people really hate this game. Are we still live? Okay, we're still live. Okay, so I know people really hate this game. But Fortnite. So Fortnite, to me, is the best esport for new talent. By far the best esport for new talent. There's a few reasons for this. One of the reasons is that the ladder is totally open. As well as tournaments. So this still follows the same dogma of the other esports, where if you want to get into an org, you probably need a stream. You need to be high level. And people need to know you. But you also don't need this. Right? So you also don't need to follow all that stuff, because in the end, Fortnite tournaments are extremely open. All you have to do is get to Champion League, which is if I were to put it in league sense or standard thing, it's probably Master or High Diamond, right? You just need to get to Champions. And then you can play, and then you can play proprietary You can play proprietary tournaments that Epic hosts. Stuff like this is like cash cups, other tournaments, and FNCS qualifiers. So FNCS is the Fortnite Championship Series. If you get to here, and if you qualify, you're a big name, and you're probably going to get picked up by an org at some point. Like almost every single player that's in FNCS is orged by someone. If it's a tier 1 org, if it's like a smaller org that's still, you know, pretty decent, that, or it may not be like super big in like one title, but it's big in another. Like Luminosity does not have a place in League of Legends, but Luminosity has a huge place in Valorant, for example. So there's that. Additionally, like you don't need to be a part of an org. To win. You don't need to be in an org to win. You can play with other players. And other players from other orgs. Like, if you are on Luminosity and you want to play with a couple of guys from, I don't know, Cloud9, TSM, or whatever, and you guys want to just qualify for the NFCS that way, or you guys want to do a cash cup, you guys are totally allowed to do that. And Fortnite is the easiest to go pro in. So, like, if you want to look at, like, League of Legends, you have to grind your fucking heart out and learn so much, like, knowledge to get to Challenger itself. And then you have to go through the struggle of going through all this. And that's tedious. Like, you have to prove yourself in Challenger Series. And then you have to prove yourself in Academy League. And then you got to prove yourself to get into the main team. And then you still got to prove yourself. Because if you fuck up on this too many times, they drop you back down to Academy League. And if you fuck up too many times here, you're fucking out and you have to go back here again. Like, that's shitty, right? CWL, if you lose, you lose. You can retry next time. That's not a big deal. Apex Legends, it's kind of the same way. But here, you can literally just grind out mechanics in Fortnite and get good. When, you know, there's the whole thing was like, oh, you're bad, just get good. Well, you can literally just get good in Fortnite. What about playing with girls? Don't leave them out. I'm gonna be playing with girls. Girls don't play video games. What are you talking about? Don't you know that? Girls don't play games. Only guys do. Everyone who pretends to be a girl is just using voice changer. So this is why I dub Fortnite the best esport in general. Not only do they have an insanely high prize pool for their FNCS, I think who was it? It was Booga. So Booga is a 17-year-old kid. I think he's like 19 right now. That won 3 million USD. In a solo Fortnite Championship Series tournament. You know what he did? The motherfucker just grinded. The dude just grinded and grinded his mechanics, got really, really good at the game, and he fucking won. And you know what? He was signed to an org at the time, but that's because he was already proving himself in tournaments. People already saw him and were like, yo, this kid's good, let's pick him up. And so the Sentinels picked him up. But reports Fortnite claim to YouTube fact checkers. Why don't you fucking do that? So this is a good example. There's other pros that are similar to Bugo who did very similar things. There's Clicks. There's Benji Fishy. And all these guys, all they did was they just played Fortnite and they just got good, and they played in tournaments hosted by Epic, built into the platform. It's like playing Clash, and then while you're playing Clash, you get picked up by an org. It's fucking nutty, and this can happen to anybody. But you have to, of course, do all this too. You have to be at a high level of play. And people need to know you. And to do this, for people to know you, you have to play in tournaments. And you have to. The biggest thing is you have to qualify for the NFCS. If you get into the NFCS, you're basically orged. Like, people are going to reach out to you. If you're streaming, even better. And so I kind of went over what it takes to get into these teams. So Fortnite specifically is what I've been playing a lot recently. I have a buddy of mine. His name's Hawkjock. He has never played Fortnite in his life before a month ago. Never played Fortnite. He played Apex Legends, so he understands BRs, and he's a FPS shooter. He doesn't really play third-person shooters. His building was ass. He started playing and he didn't build for shit. I had to build for him, and I was ass too. But you know what now? This dude is boxing me up. He's killing me all the fucking time on our 1v1 practices. This dude is already Division 7, and Division 8 is champions. He just has to go up one more division. And then I ruined his life. Yeah, the dude grinds the fuck out of Fortnite right now. He's addicted to it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's only been playing for a month. And this dude is already almost champions. He's already pretty decent at the game. He can almost qualify for the NFCS. He just needs to get a team together at his level that can play with him and get to that level and get to that tournament. And I'm trying to get to that level as well. I'm Division 6, so I'm a little bit behind him. But of course, I'm bad at video games, so I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But that's just how it is. And fucking, you can get good at Fortnite and you can do really well. They host weekly cash cups with a $400 prize pool between 3 people, one person. 400 per person. So if it's a trio prize, if it's a trio cash cup, it's $1,200. And they'll host solo cash cups as well. But like, Fortnite is undoubtedly the best esport right now, and there's a reason why they have such a high prize pool and they have such a high support. Like, it does really well for itself. And I know a lot of people give Fortnite hate, but you have to respect what they're doing as well at the same time. Like, Fortnite is doing a lot. Fortnite is busting the scene in esports in the regular media, because people are like, oh my god, League of Legends are in Korea, they're doing like some cool things. And then people are like, 16-year-old kid got fucking $3 million. How's that? Fucking NBC do a story on that. The motherfucking kid got on Jimmy Kimmel. Like, what? The kid was on Jimmy Kimmel because he won $3 million in Fortnite. The dude is set. Like, they're just, Fortnite can help a lot of content creators as well get their name out. Oh my god, my voice just cracked. Sorry, microphone. Oh my god. Yeah, Fortnite's just really, really good. But of course, everything else is as well. If you want to go pro in CWO, go for it. Out. Yeah, my voice went out. then you can. If you want to go pro in Apex Legends, you can. If you want to go pro in Overwatch, lol, you can. You just got to grind your shit out. Fortnite, you don't really have to. You do have to grind your shit out, but you don't really have to do too much. But that's the end of that video. Thank you everybody for coming by. Hope you guys like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.